Hi guys, so today we're going to do part 3 of human reactivity versus dog reactivity. Today I want to focus about, I want to talk about focus. I want to talk about focus and listening and active listening as well. So we want our dogs to be focused at all times, right? And a lot of the times people will always say my dog doesn't listen to me, my dog has selective hearing, all those sorts of things. And what it generally amounts to, again, and I'm going to say it again, is people talk to their dogs too much. But also too, it comes down to the use of the dog's name. So when you have an only pet household, so you have one dog, your dog knows its name, right? There's no need to be constantly saying the dog's name over and over and over again to get your dog's attention. There's other and more successful ways to do that. So think about this analogy, for example. If we're doing a session or we're hanging out, catch up, doggy play day, whatever the case may be, when it doesn't necessarily have to be in this context, but I'm going to use this context. I'm going to make this centered around me working with somebody. So I'm trying to change my approach a little bit here because there's quite a lot of sensitivity around some of these videos that are being misconstrued. So let's change. I'm going to try and change my approach. Okay, let's make this about me. And I'm working with you, like I said, doggy day, date, play date, whatever the case may be. When we're talking, you don't say, hey, Beck, blah, 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 Beck, question, blah, 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 Beck, but what about? Do you get my drift? You're not constantly saying my name when you speak to me, right? So why do it to your dog? Your dog knows its name. You could click, hey, come, whatever the case may be. It doesn't, your dog is eventually going to fall deaf to its name and is eventually going to stop listening to you if you're talking to it too much. And I'm going to say reinforce it with when you talk to your dog too much. And don't take it so personally because everybody does it. You're not the first and you won't be the last. It's always going to happen, which is why I'm putting these videos out here to make your life, your bond, your relationship with your dog/dogs better than what it is now, right? So I have multiple dogs. I always have at least 4 dogs with me daily. Most of you know that. And yes, I need to say their names at times because I need to specifically talk to that dog because I need it to either A, stop playing, to get out of there because it could be something serious, danger, whatever the case may be. It could be that that dog is going over the threshold and I need to correct that dog. So there's lots of different ways about doing it, which comes down to context. It's why I believe context is so important, right? So again, let's come back to focus. And sometimes I have to say it to people too. Like, people learn in different ways, and I'm always creating that space and giving those people that time. But sometimes I go, okay, well, I've tried this approach, I've tried that tactic, I've tried explaining it this way, okay, now I'll try this. And if I'm going, oh, God, it's still not working, well, then I need to try it a different way. So then sometimes, for example, I'll say, okay, all right, I want you to just think about this for a second. Let me do this experiment with you. It's a test and measure. And then I'll say, Beck, yes, I'm using my name, whoever name it is, right? Beck. People start to become uncomfortable and they'll be like, you'll see the confusion in them. You'll see the, I don't know what to do here kind of thing. That's exactly what it is that you're doing to your dog. And then you wonder why it doesn't listen. And then you get frustrated at the dog. And then you do negative punishment, fear-based punishment, all those things that don't serve a purpose and are not healthy for you and your dog. Okay, so that's listening and focus. Then let's talk about active listening and listening. So a lot of people think in their brain. that their dog is being spiteful and not listening to them for a certain reason. They've got selective hearing, blah, 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 blah. That is all boils down to the communication style that you have with your dog, what you're expecting your dog to do, or a lot of people have a lot of unrealistic expectations, okay? And that goes in any way, shape, or form in life, whether that be an unrealistic expectation with their partner, with their dog, with their boss, with whoever, whatever, doesn't matter. But just think about that. So sometimes I'll be talking to people and I'll be explaining things, and I actually see in their minds tick over quite a lot, and I see their body language change. You know, non-verbal communication is greater than verbal communication in a lot of ways. And then they'll start to respond, and they're responding completely out of context. And that's fine, because people have to learn. Everybody goes through that kind of like tither moment when they're learning things, and that's completely normal, and it's fine. Then they respond because they've been too busy stuck in their head and not actively listening to what's going on, because what they think is going on is actually not what's going on, right? And then it's trying to get that person to understand that and comprehend that. Same goes for your dog when you're trying to teach your dog recall, for example. If you do it the wrong way, it's never going to be successful. For example, classic. People get a young dog and they teach the dog to play fetch with ball or frisbee, right? Or tug rope, whatever the case may be. Humans rely on a crutch to get things done in a lot of ways. So then they start with a ball. Oh yeah, throw the ball, get my dog to bring it back to me because it's the only way I can get my dog to come back to me. As opposed to, if you think about how much time you actually spend teaching your dog fetch and teaching your dog to become ball obsessed, you could have actually mastered the recall 100% under every distraction without any crutch whatsoever. Okay, so just think about those things for a little bit, and I'm going to continue to talk a lot more. At the moment, I'm feeling a little bit vulnerable myself, due to a lot of other elements that go on behind the scenes. So for me, I'm going to be testing and measuring to try and get the right delivery. And again, I'm human just as much as anybody else here. And I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm not always going to get it right. The same goes for every other fucking living being on this earth. But does that make me a bad person? Does that make it okay for people to be having a go at me, giving me knee-jerk reactions and shit like that? Absolutely not. No, it doesn't. So I'm currently have been in the process in the last week or so of implementing stronger boundaries for myself and for the people that I work with. And a lot of people are not going to like it. Well, you know what? It's your choice. You get to choose. So these videos is all about a choice. It's either to help you to make your life better with your dog and happier and get the bond and help you to achieve your ultimate results, or you can choose to get all shitty and fucking cry and do whatever you want to do about it, and then not do a fucking thing about it, and then can continually complain about your dog, how it's, not listening to you, how it's, reactive, how it's this, how it's that, and label everything under the sun whilst ignoring what's actually really going on in front of you, and something that can be so easy to overcome, but you choose to make it hard. So again, in life is hard. You got to choose your hard, right? I'm just going to leave this here, and I'm going to come back and deliver something else to you again soon. Okay, bye.